Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading for the week, or no, this is for September 2023. We are just going to jump right in here, Sag. And sorry, I want to get a good shuffle going there. So let's see. You have this Ancestors card and this Decay card. I believe we are in a time of decay. I mean, really, Pluto going over the cusp of Capricorn and Aquarius. It's retrograding right now. It will be moving forward into Aquarius. It's going to retrograde again into Capricorn. Literally, this is right here. It is the Tower. So it is the death of establishment. So, this sounds scary, but really it's not. Anything that's been established in your life for a very long time, you could be noticing it could just be transforming. Doesn't have to be that big of a deal. Evolving or dying, plain and simple. So, you might be noticing this at this time. Again, a lot of people have had the Tower this week, this week, but also in these monthly readings. So it does seem to me like there could be like global Tower moments happening, like I've been saying for like 2 years now. I see a lot of global Tower moments happening. So don't be surprised if something goes wrong this month in the world or something happens, right? But overall, you have the Knight of Swords, the Four of Swords, and the Tower. The Knight of Swords is like something rushing. I kind of feel this is saying don't go back to the past. And I'm not even talking about just love here, although it could be. I feel this could be saying like, it's saying that there is this new world that exists. The Seven of Cups is kind of like being spoiled for choice, having a lot of options, but it can also be a dream or some ideas that you're having about life. And I almost feel like it's saying that you need to open up to these new ideas. They could lead to a lot of success, or you need to open up to this new world that could exist for you here, Sagittarius. So that's what I'd say there. I would also say that, I think it would be a good time to get a second opinion if you're spending a bunch of money on something. When I get the Knight of Swords, sometimes to me, it basically says that if you're spending money on something, especially like a car, a house, something like that, something expensive, that you should get a second opinion, especially if it doesn't seem right, and especially if it's during the retrograde. So, which is pretty much, you might as well just say the entire month of September, because the shadow goes to the end of September for the Mercury retrograde. So again, you might as well just say the entire month, right? Just get a second opinion. It's nothing to worry about. As I always say, during retrogrades, I sign paperwork all the time. I sign contracts. I'm not afraid of it. Like everybody else says, don't do this, don't do that, right? But it's like, no, I just double check it. And I also have someone else who double checks it for me. And as long as you do that, you'll be fine. Plain and simple. You have the Four of Swords. Four of Swords is a card of recovery. Definitely looks like a recovery period to you. It's like you have a lot of borderline, what I call borderline cards here, where it's like they're not bad, they're not good. They're just kind of like sitting in the middle, right? The cards that you have here. And they all have very easy solutions, So to me, whenever I see this in a reading, it suggests that some of you could be experiencing, you could be healing, you could be going through healing, or you are just kind of in this position of hoping and praying for blessings. He's hoping for a blessing. There's a person being blessed right here. And so I feel for a lot of you, that's what you're hoping for. You have the Tower coming in. I have the word forced perspective popping into my head. It popped into my head the second I touched it. You have this Observer card as well coming up next. It is kind of like a card of observing something from a new perspective. Think like Hangman type energy, right? And sometimes I feel with the Tower can bring in like a forced perspective where, especially if you're stuck in any area of your life, the Tower shakes us up. The Tower says, you've been doing things the same for too long, and now it's time for shakeup. You end with the Eight of Swords, which is only seeing one way of doing things. So, to me, I always say, I think the Tower is a good card, because if we didn't have a Tower, or have Tower moments in life, we would just stay the same. Everything would be the same every single day. And if you're hoping for improvements or hoping to improve your life, then you don't want things, you can't do that by staying the same. You have to make some changes somehow. So we're going to use the Oracle of the Radiant Sun to clarify. Again, you have that Decay card, and the Tower is a card of decay. With the Knight of Swords, you have this Intuition card. Trust your intuition. If something doesn't feel right, if some dude tells you like it's going to cost $6 billion to fix your car, hell no, right? Get a second opinion on whatever it is that you feel is going to, or whoever someone tells you it's going to cost all this money or whatever, right? With the Four of Swords, you have this Power card. You could be in this resting or relaxing position because you are trying to regain some energy, which I think is great. I mean, especially during retrogrades, really good time to, if you need extra rest, to get extra rest, or really great time to heal yourself and, really take care of yourself. And I feel like that's what's going on here. With the tower, you have this innovation card. Yes, I mean, the only solution to a tower is to innovate. Again, those people, the tower is falling because these people have been ignoring reality. The whole point of the tower is that it brings us back to reality. And so they have to do things differently. They've built those walls up around them too high, and so that they don't have to see the outside world. They're trying to protect themselves from change, but it's impossible. So the only solution is innovation. Innovation will set you free, especially with the Pluto going into Aquarius, officially next year. Next, in the area of, your next big change, you have this Observer card and you have this Higher Power card. Again, I really feel the universe is trying to get you to see things from a whole new perspective. You have this Compass card coming up next as well. It's almost like the universe is trying to get you to go towards uncharted territory. I really feel that some of you are changing your story here, especially if there's something that is a round-around situation. Like, let's say you have the same love story, the same work story. I really feel the universe is trying to get you to see that things can be different, especially with this Observer card. I think this is just the universe or your guides or your ancestors or whatever are just trying to say, like, hey, there's another way to live. This is what it looks like, right? You can gain a new perspective. It could be a tower for sure, It's like whatever this new perspective is could make you feel like things are a tower moment, or it could just be a shock to see that there's another way to do things. But it's like, this is great because it expands your awareness. And I feel you're expanding your awareness is going to lead to like success with the Eight of Pentacles. You have the Seven of Cups here, the Queen of Cups, and the Page of Wands. You're seeing a lot of opportunities and options. I do get a very dreamy vibe off of this. It kind of is a card of dreams, but kind of not as well. But I do feel a very kind of like dreamy energy here where you're seeing all these opportunities, or you're kind of thinking of all the dreams that exist in your head. I feel like the simple answer is for you to follow your heart. You have the Queen of Cups. She has that big cup there, and she really listens to her heart. She really follows what her intuition is telling her to do, or she's moving in that direction. And we even go intuition, Queen of Cups, to the High Priestess, to the Moon. Very intuitive reading here, Sagittarius. Very much a reading that's saying, hey, your intuition is telling you to do something, try it. Especially if you're ready to give up, or especially for those of you that are getting frustrated with your story. I do get this more of a sense of frustration right here with the Page of Wands. It's like not even bad. I think this could be a good thing. This could be something that motivates you to success. I don't think that, I'm not like one of those spiritual teachers that's like, oh, anger is bad, or, oh, frustration is bad. I think we have these emotions. It's what we do with them that's important. So if you're feeling frustrated, restless, or like you don't have a direction, I feel, number one, that, being kind to yourself with the Four of Swords, taking care of yourself would be a good idea. I also feel you have a couple of answers here, going this way, doing things differently, not doing things the same way. Just simply looking for another answer, even if you don't think it will work, right? This could be in business or work, like wherever you're trying to get unstuck, doesn't matter, but just trying a different way. You don't have to commit to it forever. Just see what happens, right? Same thing this way. High Priestess and the Moon, they both kind of represent embracing mystery, or, digging into a mystery. And so you might intuitively have an idea that's like a little mysterious. You're not sure how to do it, but, we are in a time of learning. So anything you could do to learn is going to be very important. Let's see. With the Seven of Cups, you have this versatility card. Yes, just be flexible with the way that you do things. It's crazy to me that every single person has basically had this card this month. I blame the eclipse that we had last year in Taurus. I said during those eclipse readings that I did for that eclipse that I believe that it was a time where the universe is trying to teach people to be flexible, meaning if you try to do something, like the first way you try to do something is probably not going to work. It doesn't matter if you want love, money, spirituality, business, health, whatever. It's like the first thing you try might be a little frustrating. And I feel that energy here. And I also feel with the Eight of Swords has a very easy solution. It just says, look for a different way of doing things. It's just that simple. The good news is that the Eight of Swords is showing up in the good stuff, so it looks to me like you're setting yourself free. You have the Queen of Cups. This is more good news. You have this Endurance card. I think that you are stubborn in a good way here, Sagittarius, like you don't give up. So, I feel this endurance, this is what's, really making you successful. If you don't give up, eventually you will be successful. So it's like you're very, I do feel more motivated here. With the Page of Wands, you have this Discovery card. Definitely Page of Wands is a card of discovery. So I feel you are discovering new ways of doing things. The thing with the Page of Wands, though, is we have to leave the house. We have to get away from whatever our Eight of Swords is, or whatever the Tower is. Again, if you have a certain reality that exists, it's like, how can you change that reality? You have to learn. But again, you don't literally have to leave the house. The house could be right here. So you just have to go look for new perspectives. I literally feel this reading is very simple, as always. It's just encouraging you to find a new perspective on whatever you're trying to fix, whatever the story is that you tell yourself about whatever you want in life. It's like, can you see a new perspective, or is there a different way to look at things? And the answer is yes. You just have to find it. You have this Wizard of Awareness card and this Compass card. Like I said, new perspectives, very important. I also feel that Compass is encouraging you to step into uncharted territory. You literally have the Six of Swords, which is uncharted territory, coming up as your first card here. On the Six of Swords, this woman and the child here, they're leaving everything behind. They only have the clothing on their back. I always tell people, I think people undervalue the Six of Swords. Like, it is a big change that they are making. They are not bringing anything with them across these choppy waters, and they're just hoping for a brighter future. They're just hoping that the other side is going to be more successful or a bigger opportunity. So they're really taking a risk here. This guy back here represents a ferryman. And so for a lot of you, I feel like you are being guided into uncharted territories. I do feel like you need to pay attention to anything that could be toxic in your environment. So this could be behaviors, it could be addictions, could be anything. And I feel removing anything toxic would be very beneficial for you at this time. I mean, as a matter of fact, it could be just the one thing that is holding you back here with the Eight of Swords. So I feel a lot of you could be looking into that, not telling you what to do, but again, it might be a good thing to do at this time to remove toxic things. You have the High Priestess. Definitely time to trust your intuition. I do feel you're very intuitive right now, very in tune. And I also feel that, some uncharted territory or some uncharted opportunity that you've never done before has a lot of potential. The High Priestess is the card of potential. She has no roof over her head, and it says that she can accomplish more than she thinks is possible, but she has to kind of like set her mind to it, and she has to go through it and do it. So let's see what is coming up for you here. With the Six of Swords, you have this Romance card. You could be moving towards new love. I wouldn't really call this a love reading, but again, there's a little bit of love here. And so it could be love. This card always reminds me of the Two of Cups, and the Two of Cups is two people who are meant to look very different. So you could be attracting a person who is very different than your usual type, for sure. With the Devil, you have this Influence card. I would be careful of a past person if you're meeting a new person. The Influence card could say there's like someone who's trying to influence your situation or trying to mess things up for you. So I would be very careful of that. I also feel that, it's like my favorite book of all time, The War of Art. In that book, he says that when we get closest to our goal, that's when we meet the most resistance. It's like when we get close to our goal, that's when like people start bothering us, because they don't want to see us change, right? Or that's when all the problems spring up. It's kind of like that last test from the universe. Like, are you going to overcome this, and are you going to push through? And I really get that feeling here from your reading, that it's encouraging you to kind of change any old stories as well. Like, let's say in your family, your family has a story of like always like starting something but never finishing it, right? I feel like this reading is the universe is challenging you to kind of like work on something diligently and push past that point. It's like you're breaking, generational curses or whatever you want to call it, but it could be in any area of your life. With the High Priestess, you have the Seduction card. I do feel like there could be a person who is trying to seduce you here. It could be any sign. Nothing is really, it's kind of weird. You do have water here, and I think this happened to you last week as well. There was water in your reading, but it could be a water sign. Doesn't have to be, could be any sign. But I do feel there could be someone who's really trying. I really do get, I get a persistent person here that could be coming in for you. So they could be very persistent. I don't think they're annoying. I think they're just, I think they're just persistent. So if you want love, it's here. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Palm Tree card. It says, bring ideas to life, magical creations. The entire reading is about bringing your ideas to life. You have this Whale card that says, your voice matters, speak your truth. Yes, definitely. And also, tell the story that you want to hear. The palm trees, by the way, palm trees represent survivors as well. They can live in the desert with very little water. And I feel for a lot of you, it's saying that some of you, it's like you've been working on something with not very many resources. You are doing the work, but maybe your resources aren't exactly or haven't been increasing. But the good news is you have the Eight of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles in the Moon. Again, this is showing up in the area of the good stuff. Eight of Swords is only seeing one way of doing things when there are many. So again, the good news is I feel you are kind of discovering a new perspective on something in your life. It looks financial to me, where it's like you're just, it's you know, I'm really surprised Judgment didn't show up here either, because it's almost like you're just making a huge, like a big shift. Like imagine if you were looking at a statue, if you were looking at it from like the left-hand side and then you go to the right-hand side, it's like this, you're looking at the same thing, right? The same statue, but if you look at a statue from two different perspectives, you're going to see two different things more or less, right? So I feel you're getting two different images, and it's like, that's what's happening here. I hope that makes sense. It's like you're looking at something in your life, you're seeing it from two different sides now, for whatever reason, and I feel like that is the thing that could really be setting you free here with the Eight of Swords. You know, it's like that is the thing that could be making you very successful, right? It's like, you know, I think this reminds me of how sometimes we set out to do something hard, like maybe we set out to write a book, or we set out to start a YouTube channel or whatever, but as we do it, maybe we don't enjoy it. You know, maybe we just don't like what we're doing. And I kind of get this feeling that this is saying, that's fine. Do it another way. It's like if you have a YouTube channel and you hate it, maybe you need to write a book. Maybe you're writing a book and you hate it. Maybe you need to start a YouTube channel. It's like almost like the change in perspective is saying that you can do the same thing that you want to do, but maybe you're just presenting it in a different way. So I don't know, someone needs to hear that. You have the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is material success on the horizon. I really do feel that there is an increase in your finances. So I like to see that for you. I also feel, I get this like never give up energy. I feel you have a lot of endurance right now. Like I said on that endurance card, it's almost as if there just is no stopping you at this time, which is great. I feel like you are unstoppable. I feel you are putting in work into work, business, whatever, and finding success. You have the Moon. I feel you are determined to bring the Moon down to Earth. The Moon can represent a dream or a goal, something that you want to manifest here on Earth. So I really do get a very determined feeling here. I also do feel that in the area of the good stuff, you could actually be getting clarity, or you've been through a moon period. You know, the moon represents a temporary period of time. The moon comes up, moon goes down, the sun comes up. So, you know, this could say that the sun is coming up in your life and you're kind of being set free. Let's see. With the Eight of Swords, you have this Enterprise card. I knew I was getting something about money here. I think this has been happening to you for a couple of weeks with me, at least, right? I feel like I'm always saying to you for like the past few weeks that there's something here. There's been something in your readings about increasing your finances or the way that you make money, and I feel like you are so close. Again, I think the most helpful thing would be to experiment, you know, get that perspective shift or look at how other people do what you're doing, right? Whatever it is that you do, doesn't matter. You know, especially in your finances, even if you're retired, you know, again, people always say to me, I'm retired. I'm like, okay, so does that mean you just sit on the couch all day? Maybe, but it's like you still do stuff, right? And so there could be a new perspective. You still have money, hopefully, if you're retired. So maybe there's something different that you could do with it. Go learn about it, right? And I feel like that's what this is saying. But I do feel, for those of you that work, this is very good. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have this Exaltation card. Yes, very good. This card is being exalted. It's like the universe is blessing you at this time. I really feel that. And it's blessing you with this change in perspective. With the Moon, you have this Birth card. Some of you, I do feel, could be having children, you know, if you want children. But really, this is the birth of a new life, you know, especially with that Moon card. You've been through the darkness, and now you're popping out the other side. So I really actually like where this reading is going, for sure. Definitely a very positive change coming in for you. We are going to now pull 5 main themes for you, and yes, this makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense with your reading. You have this Council card. I do feel like you are being guided, because Six of Swords, where was the Six of Swords? Oh yeah, at the top here. Six of Swords, there's that guy in the boat. He is a ferryman. He goes back and forth between the choppy waters. And I feel that your guides are like kind of guiding you between choppy waters here. You have this Fool's Embrace card. It says transmute pain. So I feel for a lot of you that you do have the opportunity. Again, we were talking about a perspective shift. And so this whole entire reading, that's basically what it's talking about. And, you know, I feel for some of you, this could be like uncharted territory. Again, I was getting that Compass card represents uncharted seas, like doing things in a way that you've never done them before. And that is what's going to lead to the most success. You have this Patience card. I feel you've been very patient, you know, and I feel you're finally seeing results. So if you feel like you've been being patient, which you probably have, you have that Eight of Pentacles, which is telling me that there could be more money coming in. there. You have this deep quiet. It says meditation and stillness. I think, where was it? Oh, yeah, over here with the Four Swords. I was saying at the beginning of the reading, anything you can do to rest, relax, recover, heal, all that stuff would be really good right now. You also have the standstill card. I feel like you're about to set yourself free from a standstill. Six of Swords can represent being stuck in the mud. He's got that long pole that he's like digging into the mud with the Six of Swords. And, I feel you've been feeling stuck in the mud. I want to see what this next card is as well. Yeah, you have this covenant. It says sacred contract. I do feel like you're almost being set free from being stuck for a long time. I feel like you've had a lot of those moments too, where you look at things that you're working on and it's almost as if you're saying to yourself, there's no way that the universe isn't keeping me stuck. Like, I feel like you're putting in work. You're doing the things that should lead to results. And I kind of feel that this is a timing issue. It's almost like this card is saying to me, like, you have a contract and you're fulfilling that contract, but it's like, until the time on your contract, you're not necessarily going to see results, but it's like this is pushing you forward. It's not meant to frustrate you, even though maybe it is frustrating, right? But I feel like the time is up. You're about to get whatever you've been working towards, so don't give up now. Pretty interesting reading here, Sag, I have to say. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.